All right, let's go. Hello and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and today we're going to be doing another full review episode. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, come on in. All my returning viewers, always love to see you come back. So, you know what we're going to do. Let's do it. So today's full review episode is going to be the Auchentoshan single malt Scotch whiskey, aged 12 years, delicate and layered maturation of bourbon and sherry casks. This is coming in at 40% alcohol by volume. There's your distillery manager. You can blame him for not giving you more than at least 43. Sometimes 40 is just fine. Sometimes that 48, we just had a 48. That is a Glengoyne White Oak, I think was a 48er. And that was wonderful. I'm sorry, I pulled that away a little too fast, didn't I? There you go. Auchentoshan.com. Beam Suntory import, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. If you know, you know. Scruff, McGruff, Chicago, Illinois. Here comes the cork pop. There we go. It's got a nice big V. What? That's weird. That's a weird. Why wouldn't they make it? Oh, just playing, just messing with you. Let's get a pour on, shall we? There we go. Yeah, that's good. We're going to take a quick look at the box. Okay. I think you might have seen that in the front up. There you go. It's a nice looking thing. The artwork and everything is nice. There's your side for that one. On the back, I'll give you a little closer up. Well, Auchentoshan. Is that how I did it? Yeah, that's how I did it on my notes. Auchentoshan. 12-year, color pale gold. We'll check that. Nose, cereal, almonds, and lime. Lime, that's interesting. Sweet caramelized toffee. Finish is dry and long. Lingering fullness. And that's all for the box. Thank you for your service. Next, we're getting into it. So Mr. Randy does his 3 parts to his review series. Part 1, off the rip, get it home, crack it open, have my first pour, share my first impressions with you because that's what we do. Part 2, full review. We drink it down halfway, put the cork in it, put it back on the shelf, let it sit for a week and a half, 2 weeks. There is a schedule. If I'm going too fast sometimes, feel free to mention it. I'll try and slow down. But you, as all my returning viewers, you know, sometimes these videos can get 15 minutes long. So, all right. So while it's sitting on the shelf, I'm going to go online. We'll find next to nothing is exactly what we got. We come back, we talk about it, I score it, we continue to drink it because part 3, final pour episode, thusly named. We have the final pour, compared to the first pour off the rip, and everything in between. So let's break out Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale. Off camera, I'm going to try and get this. That is a nice gold. Let's see, what do you think? It's kind of hard because of the lighting, but I think it's more of a pale cortado sherry than anything else on there. So on the nose, what did they say? Oh, it's on the box, and you've done flicked the box away. I'm too lazy to go get it. I am getting somewhat of a candied almond, or yeah, I'm definitely picking up some almond. Or then again, maybe it's just psychosomatical. You know, I think therefore I am. If they tell you you're smelling almond, yeah, I'm smelling almond. You're smelling cherries. Yeah, I'm smelling cherries. Psychosomatical. Anywho. Yeah, I'd say it's got everything on the nose like that. So this is a... What was I looking for? And we'll just go to my notes. Go to my notes. So let's go ahead and get this initial palating out of the way. We made that mistake on the last video, not getting started sooner. Okay. It's a little bit of a deepness, a richness, a sourness. But that's the acclimation pour. We'll come back to it in just a moment and see if it still rings true. So they're saying this is triple distilled, where a lot of Scotch, a lot of single malt Scotch and whatnot are only double distilled. But it's Irish whiskey where it's most of them are triple distilled. Very few are only double distilled. I've had a few double distilled, like that Two Gingers. That's a sub $20 bottle. People will say it's a cheap Scotch. I'd say some people just may be afraid of character, because it has character. It's not as very smooth and as easy as all those triple distilled stuff, like, I don't know, your Jamesons and stuff. I don't want to rag on Jameson, but I think it's just a popularity whiskey. Anywho, stop beating them up. Let's go. It's non-peated, so this is one of the very few of these types that it comes from the area where it's non-peated. It still has a little bit of a deepness to it. Auchentoshan. So this was, their distillery is near Glasgow. I forgot exactly where it is already. It doesn't say. It might say on the box, but I'm not going over there for that. Let's go ahead and get the second one on here and see if it says. Oh yeah, you're right. Do the roll. I don't think there's enough in there to do the roll properly, but it's not too bad. Viscosity is on the lighter side. Transfer is about the same onto the palate. It's a little touch of oiliness, but it's also got some really deep darkness to it. Moving on. They say, oh yeah, this is where they have the different expressions down the Auchentoshan line. American oak, sherry, 12-year, 3 wood, and a 14-year. Mr. Randy paid $58.02 out the door for this 40% ABV single malt Scotch. Bourbon and sherry casks. And I do believe that sherry is just straight sherry casks and not a bourbon and a sherry. So this is a bourbon and a sherry, so it's got a little bit more of those deeper, darker sort of tones that you would get from a bourbon. And then you get that sort of also deeper, sort of richer, more tartness between those two. They really match up, and that really like overwhelms everything else that you got going on here. It's not a bad one for sure. It's definitely not a bad one. Definitely got some good quality. A 12-year age stated. If you like these sort of heavier, sort of more staunchier, more like musky, sort of like single malts, where it's bourbon and sherry cask finish. It's pretty nice. If you like the video, go and hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, go ahead and do that while you're there. That way you can bypass the algorithm, get more of these great content videos. So let's go ahead and do the finish. Yeah. This is a pretty good one where there's a fine line between the bourbon and the sherry. Like I said, the sherry, even though it's very sweet and rich forward, it does have a little bit of bitterness, a tartness, if you will, as well as does the bourbon. The ex-bourbon casks are barrels. And both of those things do come together, and they did say that on the finish, it's a dry one. It's not really dry, but it is one of the primary characters of that finish. I'm not getting a whole lot of warmth in the back. Nothing's really, not a whole lot's going on in the back. Where I am getting a significant amount of love is underneath the tongue, at the very front, underneath the tongue. I don't think I've ever had that on a palating from a whiskey. I get some cheeks and jowls, yes. Most of it's right there at the tip of the tongue, under the tip of the tongue. Like I said, it runs a very fine line between the bourbon and the sherry. It's not sweet. It's not easy. It's not smooth. This has character. And if you love the sweeter, the sort of like go with the space side. Go with the space side. This is pretty nice. I was trying to see if I could see it from the box. Now, never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's put a score on it, shall we? Scoring coming in 3, 2, 1. Strong 3 out of 5. Oh, I'm sorry, don't hate me. I am not one of those people who like this sort of libation, this type of whiskey. Maybe in a bourbon, uh, I might take it in a bourbon because that's what I want when I go for the bourbon. When it comes as a Scotch, I want something deep and rich for sure, but I also want something very much on the orchard fruit kind of side. Don't get me wrong, I will always love me a peated Scotch. hmm I will always love a peated Scotch. It'll always be in my heart, a peated Scotch. hmm But I gotta say, I absolutely love almost everything that comes out of Speyside. Quite a few things that come out of the Highlands. Sometimes the Highlands and the Speysides, they get together and they do a little something something together. They come out with something spectacular. So yeah, I would say if you were a bourbon drinker, you would probably have an appreciation for this because you are definitely into that sort of dry, heavy-handed, sort of staunchy, like a little bit rough edges kind of a character, and that's what this is. What I'm thinking here is going to be the sherry is going to give it a little bit more of a sour tartness on the back end. But there it is. My fair price for this, probably sub 50 out the door. I think would ease my ease my concerns. No, it's fine. I'd say between $50 and $60 with this would be just fine. But like I said, this would have to be your jam. This would have to be your bag, baby. Would I buy this again? There are several more offerings down the line I would like to look into. But for this one, no. This one probably will not have a return. Well, there it is. In the comment section, would love to know where you at. What are you drinking? What's going on in the world of libations around you? Have you had the Auchentoshan? Have you had one of them? Which one have you had? Let's talk about it in the comment section. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. We'll just let it go as a good one. It's fine.